Coming front court, across the timeline with 10, knocked away, Dudley Bradley. Dudley Bradley for the stop. 70-68, 3, 2, 1. Matthews off balance, off the glass. Dudley Bradley's defense did it. And ready on his second attempt. That one is no good. They battle for it, loose ball. Recovered Marvin, he scores. Pushes into Hubert Davis. 8 seconds. Davis trying to get free. Over to Fox. Fox, baseline. Up for the shot. Good. Off the glass. Oklahoma calls timeout. But the game is over. The game is over. Carolina has upset number 1 Oklahoma.
Turns it over. Kenny Williams with the steal. Gets it to Barry. 17 seconds to go. Barry, Duke not fouling. Gets it to Johnson. To Pinson for the highlight.
Inbounds goes deep on the right sideline to make.
Holy smokes, a long three!
Are you kidding me?
Holy cow!
Vincent gets all the way to the rim, and what a way to pick up his first field goal of the season by throwing down the tomahawk.
With 20 seconds left to play, goes back to Michael Jordan, jumper from out on the left, good! 63, 62, 13, 12, 11, Georgetown with one timeout. Fred Brown looking, oh, way to Worthy! Worthy 5! The Tar Heels are going to win the national championship!
Rebounded by Weber. Michigan out of timeout. Weber front court, Carolina with foul. He takes the timeout. They're out of timeout. Technical foul. Technical foul. Brown gets it into Williams. Here comes Williams front court. Williams on the drive. Gets it back out to Head. Long outside shot. Short rebounded. Hey, it's over. Carolina has won the national championship. How about them Tar Heels? They are the national champions.
That's it! Make room for 2017. The Tar Heels are the national dadgum champions.
This is the Roy's Boys podcast with your host, Joshua Marlowe.
Hey everybody, we're back in edition of the Roy's Boys podcast. Josh Nathan here with you as always. And last time we spoke, we told you we'd be gone for a little while. Well, we lied. We're back again today.
We love this too much, you know?
After, we had about a week and a half off, but, well, we got some news in the last week and a half that we figured was worth talking about, so we put our lives aside to come do a podcast, talk a little Carolina basketball. Got a good little show planned for today. Anthony, thank you for joining me. We're going to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, man.
We're going to start off with the throwback night in Carmichael that was announced last week.
Yeah,
really an awesome idea by the university, something that I've kind of been, as a fan, been wanting us to do for a while in the non-conference season, just to kind of – that's still a big part of Carolina basketball history. Like, the Smith Center is great, but Dean Smith's first really great teams grew up in that arena. It's where he built the foundation for his program, was in Carmichael. So, Carolina's going to host Wofford there on Sunday, December the 15th. It's going to probably be a mid-afternoon tip-off. And originally this wasn't decided because this was what they wanted to do. And the Smith Center is going to be commencement day for the December graduates that day on campus. So they didn't want to reschedule the game because Carolina then goes from Chapel Hill to Spokane because they go play Gonzaga. Mm-hmm. So it just made sense if they could find somewhere else to play it. And Carmichael is available. The women don't have a game that day. There's no volleyball going on. And they're going to play a game in Carmichael. Really got a lot of juice from the fan base when that came announced. So just really going to be a really fun day for Carolina basketball. We haven't played in Carmichael since they played William and Mary there back during the 2010 NIT run, when the team made a run to the NIT championship.
Yay! Not many people will want to remember that game.
So it's been roughly a decade since they've played in there. Carolina's record in Carmichael all time, including regular season and the one NIT game, 170-20.
Makes you wonder why they stopped playing there in the first place.
So dominant is not – I mean, dominant doesn't even do the justice of what they did in that arena or what they've done in that arena. They win roughly every time they walk on the floor. So really going to be a really fun day. And also, I looked this up because you and I talked about wanting to go.
Right.
It'd be a really fun atmosphere.
Okay.
It only seats 6,822 fans.
Wow. That would make, dude. That's
smaller than Cameron.
Yeah, that's tiny, man. I mean, there are high school gyms that are probably bigger than that.
So we can only imagine. Tickets won't be announced until October, but we imagine that's going to be a tough ticket to get, especially for the non-conference season.
Probably, yeah. Probably not going to be in our price range. I'm gonna harass my sister and say, okay, I need your student ticket for that game.
Right.
I mean, tell your friend to give up her ticket too, and me and you will try to sneak in as students. We look like students.
We dressed apart.
We've done this before at plenty of football games where we walk in the student gate and they give us the merchandise.
I mean, we've got the freshman 15.
We have to admit that. Freshman 15. More like freshman 50 for me. I mean, you speak for yourself. I mean, yeah, I think, but no, I mean, I love it. I don't care that it's a formality because they're having the graduation. I would think this is something that they should do. Now, I don't think every year, but maybe like every 3-4 years, maybe have a game like this, because you saw that immediately was the biggest storyline that day on Tar Heel timelines. I mean, that was immediately the biggest thing everybody was talking about. So it's exciting because, yeah, that was where some of our best teams did their damage. That's where Michael Jordan played his entire career.
Right.
So to be able to go back in there and see a team that is expected to be very exciting, I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, Wofford, granted, is not the Wofford of last year, but hell, we probably don't want them to be the Wofford of last year. We want an easy win in Carmichael. That's what we're there for, Let us soak up the history while we, destroy someone. That would be nice, but I don't know. I don't know if Wofford's going to be any – I mean, are they who knows how good they're going to be.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be a team in transition. You lost your two best players. Your coach departed for Virginia Tech. Definitely a program.
I also think it's interesting to look at it as – I mean, it's still on your own campus. You're still going to have your home fans, but it is a different place. So the guys will have to make adjustments. It's another adjustment that they have to make. And Roy Williams loves – playing those types of games that make you have to think and adjust early in the year.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Gonzaga's right after that. It's kind of interesting. I mean, you're going to go – what's the game before that? Are they at home?
I believe they are.
Okay.
Because it's in the early part of December.
It'll be interesting, though, because it's a different mind. I mean, they talk all the time about playing in, Syracuse is different because – you got to move it's a different angle that you're looking at the basket. Well, it'll be a little bit different, I guess, in Carmichael. It's not the same, but who knows?
Yeah. I guess, and this is a little topic we can get into. I've always thought this would be a great venue if at some point, they're going to do something with the Smith Center.
Right.
We don't know what that something is. We know that decision's coming, but we don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been of the opinion that, well, you just put the team in Carmichael for a year or 2 years, depending on what you decide to do with the Smith Center, how long the construction is going to take. I guess my only question now is that a reliable decision to make, considering it only sits 6,822 people?
That's the problem, because you're going from roughly 19,000 down to 6.
No, you're going from almost 22,000 to 6.
My God.
Yeah. So the ticket situation would be in flux with season tickets. People that there'd be a lot of logistics they'd have to wonder. But I wonder in the back of their mind if this hits, which we expect the Michael to fill, if that becomes a possibility, and they would just work it out with the people that have the tickets down the line once.
I think, honestly, it's kind of their only choice. I mean, let's be real honest. Where else are they going to play?
The only other player they could go would be Greensboro, but you don't want to do a whole year there.
Yeah, that would be tough. How many you've been to Greensboro? That's probably 16, 17,000?
17,000. Yeah, it's
maybe
big.
But I mean, Carmichael, believe me, it would be tough because Tar Heel fans, that's one of the best things about, being able to go to the Smith Center. It seats so many people that just about any game you want to go to, you can get tickets to. That year would be a little bit different because that is, I mean, that would have to be the smallest environment in the country, right? At that rate, out of the major schools.
Yes, out of your Power Fives, most definitely.
Right.
So I wonder, depending on how it goes, because something's going to have to happen with the Smith Center. We all agree that they've updated the locker rooms. That's great.
Right.
You've put the new video boards in. That great. But the building is old. There are just construction problems there.
It's been there since '86.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen.
So I just wonder in the back of their minds, if it goes well, does that become a legit possibility?
I think so, because I don't think they'll want to move. If they can avoid it, they do not want to move off campus.
Yeah, and then what kind of think about for the guys that would get to play a whole year in Carmichael. You get to play where Michael Jordan became Michael Jordan. Where
that's a selling point on the recruiting trail that year.
So
telling you.
But yeah, so you've got Throwback Day for Carolina basketball. It'll be December 15th in Carmichael Auditorium. Like I said, ticket information will come out sometime in October. Moving on, Carolina got their first opponent in the Battle for Atlantis that we're competing in this Thanksgiving. And they open with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Luckily, this is basketball, not football. So we still figures to be a difficult matchup. Alabama does have talent. They got a really good coach. The Buffalo coach left Buffalo to come take over the Crimson Tide program. But more importantly, they also figure out who they play afterwards. If we just project them to beat Alabama, they get the winner of Michigan and Iowa State. So we know for a fact that they're on the different sides of Gonzaga, who's also in that field,
which we expected.
We expected. But also we know what Michigan did to us last year. It would be the third straight year we would play Michigan, whether we win or lose, and we play Michigan. It would be third straight year we'd play them. And the last time we played Iowa State, they ripped our hearts out in the tournament.
Stop it! Don't bring it up.
Really, a heartbreaking
Pick your
loss.
poison there.
A heartbreaking loss for that team that had really found its stride entering the tournament. But that Iowa State team was really good that year. A lot of people had them as a sleeper to make the Final Four. And what Steve Prohm's doing up there right now is just phenomenal. They're back winning at a high level again.
Oh, they're back to where they were, I think, under Hoiberg.
Yeah. So it would be really a fun matchup, regardless of what we do against Alabama. The second game is going to be a lot of fun for us.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned it. Alabama is better than people realize because even last year, with the coaching situation that we knew was coming to an end very soon.
Right.
They were still on the bubble for a very long time. I mean, even I think even on Selection Sunday, they were one of the teams that was listed as on the bubble or maybe even the next four out. So they're not going to be the easiest team. We're not walking in against a team that finished under 500 last year and is just awful. But what do you expect? This is the Battle for Atlantis. We've known that it's going to be tough every single time that we've gone over there. Only the second time, but any time that we've watched it on television, we're like, holy, this
has
loaded.
become the premier holiday tournament.
Oh, definitely. Mainly because, and it's not Maui's fault. They always have Chaminade, which is always an easy game out of the gate. And, some of the teams don't really want to travel as far. I don't care. I still love Maui because, we're successful. And also, it's a historic tournament. They've been doing it for so long. Where the Battle for Atlantis is new. But, no, it's interesting. Out of those two, I guess I'd rather play Michigan because they've got no B-line. The talent level is good, but they're definitely going to miss some of the guys that they lost. Poole, Matthews is gone. They're going to be a team I think that's rebuilding. Whereas with Iowa State,
they're probably going to be the trendy pick to win the Big 12 outside of Kansas.
I think that's who people would go with. Yeah, they're going to be dangerous.
They're going to be a team that's going to have the second weekend of the tournament written all over them. The talent level is that good there again. Kind of the same way Fred Hoiberg had got him built the first time was through the transfers, but also he's recruiting talent to come play there. It'd be a fun game because both teams like to run. And, the tournament game, outside the fact that we lost, you take away the loss, was a very entertaining college basketball game.
Right.
It'd be a good a good matchup for our young guy.